All right, welcome back, everybody. It's 9 minutes before 7. Just before the break, you saw a little glimpse of my next guest. I'm sure you've heard about him. Philani Dladla. He is absolutely incredible, handing out books at traffic lights. But that's just the very tip of the iceberg of what this man has achieved. Today is World Book Day, so there is no better way to celebrate it than to speak to someone whose whole world revolves around reading. Philani Dladla was once a homeless drug addict, and he used his passion for literature to turn his entire life around. When we spoke to him last year, he was reading for motorists and selling books at traffic lights. We showed you a little bit of a clip earlier. Let's, I suppose, remind you about it. And when that insert aired, an official from the office of the Deputy President actually contacted Morning Live and assisted the Pavement Bookworm to form a website, start an NGO, and then write a biography, which is being published as we speak right now. Here he is. Here's the man of the moment in studio with me. Welcome. So nice to have you. So I'm saying, my question to you, so who looks after you? And your answer to me is, well, the Deputy President looks after me. I mean, come on. This is amazing.
I mean, it's a family. It's not like him as an individual, because he's got a lot of responsibilities. But his office is my second home.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Philani, your dreams basically have come true. I mean, they have. Your biography is about to be released. Your life is completely turned around. How do you feel sitting here?
I feel like I'm almost there, because I set new dreams every day, and I want to reach them. And as soon as I reach them, as they say, it's like success. You never arrive. It's a journey. So my real dream now, we've got a foundation. We're raising funds, and if I can say that my dreams are almost coming a reality, if I can see 3 kids who've graduated from institution of higher education using the funds that we're going to be raising as the Pavement Bookworm Foundation. Just
remind us where you come from, because I mean we're assuming that everybody knows who you are and what your background was. Just tell us briefly. Should we take a glimpse back 5 years ago? Who was Philani?
Yeah, life has been Philani. In the past, I used to be. Before being a street kid, I had a job. I had things that I lost through drug addiction. I mean, life was not. I was not making a fortune, but I was able to take care of all my needs and pay my bills. Because I fell into this drug trap, I ended up getting kicked out of the apartment I used to be living in, and I lost everything that I worked hard for. And I had nothing except a bag full of books, a blanket, and that was it. Just not knowing where my next meal was going to come from, not knowing where to sleep. So homeless.
Yeah. And then you would stand at traffic lights and you would read to people going by and sell your books. But how did it change? I mean, so many people can do that. But what was it that you did differently?
The thing is, when I got introduced to the street life, I saw you have to adapt, So I saw some guys, everybody had something they were doing for a living. Some, they were selling PT, begging on the streets, some were recycling. But I said, let me use what I know best. Let me go talk about books and get people interested in reading. Maybe it might work for me. And it did work for me, because I used to give synopsis, and people would hey man, this is good. I read that book 5 years ago. Some would try to be smart, because I had a pile of books, and they will never believe that a street kid knows how to even read. So they will ask me about what is this book about, and I'll give them, because I was not taking chances. I know my books very well, so I'll tell them exactly what's on the book, and they liked it, and they started giving me something in return
for just chatting to them. When did your passion for reading come?
When I was 11, turning 12 years, a man that Joseph Castellano was a man that my mom used to work for as a as a caregiver. So that man bought me my first birthday gift, which was a book. And from that book, he promised me that if I was able to read it and tell him what it was about, I was gonna get me more books.
Yeah.
So
I mean, besides this, you've even gone onto the speaking circuit. So you now actually are speaking at events like TEDx. I mean, guest functions at Parliament. This is massive. I mean, this is such a wonderful thing, because you are a real role model. You have a massive story to tell. And what is that story that you stand up and tell at these talks?
The importance of reading. You know, I believe that the reason why I spend my time every day waking up, getting books sold, going, speaking to people and trying to get them to help these kids, because I've got a readers club. These kids, they rely on my efforts so that they can have all the things that they need to keep on. I want them to focus in schoolwork and not stressing about not having stationery or anything. So that's what drives me. So books, that's why when I speak books, because books pay my bills, books took me out of streets. I mean, books make me...
But books,
What you see is books. I'm a book. So
you are a book. In fact, you're writing a book, your biography. When is it going to be released? When are we going to read that?
You know what? For now, it's supposed to be like being released today, but we just decided to what? You know, perfection. You can't rush it. You have to take your time. I mean, there's no rush. We've got lots on our plates for now. So let's just say.
So we're going to hang 10 on that, but it will be coming sometime this year.
Soon.
Fantastic. Will you please come visit us? Will you make us one of your first stops when that book comes out?
Yeah, I'm afraid there are many other media guys who've already asked.
Don't you love his honesty? You could lie to me and just make my day and say, of course, Leanne, of course we'll come.
But honesty is the best policy.
You are so right.
So,
we love you, Philani. Thank you for visiting us. Good luck. I know you're giving a speech today at the World Book event. The book day is today. And Philani speaking it's in Boksburg, him?
Yeah, it's in Boksburg. And
you're giving a keynote address there. So well done, and thank you very much. And I see you walking around with this book there, The Boy Who Traveled the Wind.
You know, if you're familiar with TED events, you know this guy, and you know that in Malawi is one of Africa's poorest country. This boy, they had no electricity, because apparently this was when he wrote that book. So when he built that windmill to generate electricity for his community, there was like 2% of people with electricity in the whole Malawi. Just imagine, and it was like it tells stories about hard times in Malawi, where it was like there was no food and like hunger, like national hunger. Now we've got like a World Book Day, so just imagine if it's a world hunger, because like in Malawi, like only the wealthiest had food in those days. So there's some people who died.
And this is what you recommend we read right now. Sounds like we should at a time like this. The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, William Kamkwamba. All right. It's a
very powerful book, and it's just...
Well, there's your recommendation for a book to read today from our very own Pavement Bookworm, who's here in studio with us, who certainly deserves all the accolades that he's gotten. The Deputy President's Office looks after this young man, and coming from, one could say, rags to riches in a way. And now we await his autobiography with much anticipation. Philani Dladla, thank you, my man, and congratulations for all of your achievements and for turning your whole life around.
Thanks, lovely lady.
Hey, it's a pleasure, lovely man. But he still won't come talk to me when his book comes out. Visit his website, thepavementbookworm.co.za.